All right, we live, we live, we live. All right, I ain't gonna be on here long. I always say that, and I always be on here for a long time. But just over there listening to Lash's journey. Actually trying to get back over there. This wasn't gonna be too quick. I mean, it wasn't gonna be too long. But your dreams. A lot of people, try to fit society standards. You know, having a dream of becoming a police officer, having a dream of coming to be an entertainer, into sports. A lot of us had dreams growing up as kids. Um, we didn't get to those goals for most of us. The ones that did, hats off to you. You know, you living your dream. A lot of people wanted to be doctors just to save lives. A lot of people wanted to be police officers. The entertainment world gets kind of crazy, but a lot of people just want to be in the entertainment. You know, a lot of us had dreams, and we kind of got crushed by life because life will put you at a standstill. There are a lot of people still chasing their dreams. I've seen on Dave Ramsey's show where he had a guy, he failed the exams on becoming a doctor at minimum. What's going on, young? At minimum three times, you know, and he had enough for a degree to become a teacher. And he went to become a teacher, and he's still pursuing to become a doctor. Talking about over $500,000 or more in tuition and debt. But he's still trying to become a doctor. You know, it takes a lot for people to pursue their careers and their dreams. You know, it takes money first of all. For a lot of people that want to pursue a professional career, taking the college route and all, it takes a lot of money, and the debt comes with it. Most of the time, I recently, was looking into some things, and a lot of times they were saying that doctors they get kind of a pass on the housing and other things because they know the money's there. I mean, the money's coming. Being in your profession, it's kind of unlikely that you don't make money. You know, a lot of different people try to pursue their passion, and it gets kind of frustrating because over time you really want to pursue this dream of becoming this big doctor or something like that, and it just don't work out. Same applies with you trying to get into being an entertainer to a degree. That side of being on the entertainment side, it just don't work out for most because you got to understand, like, pursuing your dream and your passion, the talent can be there all day. Without the proper people and the know-how, you get shut out. I know some of the best football players catch charges and weren't able to play in high school, and then it shot their college career, and to become a walk-on, it's like a slim to none chance. You got all these guys coming out of college, and they pretty much picking the cream of crop. Some of these guys who are in college are pretty decent, but you know, all it takes is one bad game, and you're done for. You know, what's going on, Gold P? Pressure. The gold, the P stands for pressure with gold pressure P. But it do come a time where you really have to sit down and analyze some things in your life to kind of figure out, you know, what dream I want for myself. Because the thing is, I always go back to that society standard influence us to kind of do things, but what dreams and hopes, provisions are we having for ourselves? You know, who's getting us to that point of excellence to where, you know, yeah, I made it, I did it. You know, I didn't take the easy route. That passion was still there. Granted, it takes a lot of patience for most to kind of pursue certain careers and be in certain fields. You know, the thing is, when it comes down to it, it's not for the weak-hearted. You know, with a lot of people trying to pursue a career in certain entertainment fields and stuff like that, you got to have some guts. I'm talking about some dire end guts because when it comes down to it, you're going to be going against a lot of odds. You know, uh, shout out to people, that I know that became doctors, lawyers. I have a friend right now. He's been wanting to be an astronaut ever since he was a kid. And despite all the stuff that went through his life, he ended up, getting into the astronaut program. Talked to this guy. I just recently talked to him about 2 weeks ago. Man, this guy, I was laughing at, just the stuff that we did when we were young and the success he's doing. He's a little younger than me. But, I always throw my hat off to him because, he pursued his, dream despite the odds were against him. Same thing with me. I was talking to my wife and I was telling her I was a statistic that I should have been in jail by now. You know, the stuff that went on in my life when I was young, I mean, statistically shown, me and him was in that same standard. I took a different route, he took a different route, but from my standpoint, from my lives, you know, we were supposed to be in different directions. He recently just got married. Um, Sitting here, him and his wife doing a lot of good things. I think he's moved to Tokyo. If I went, I don't believe. I mean, I believe. Yeah, he moved to Tokyo and still pursuing his passion. I mean, they end up shutting down the astronaut program, and they have like private sectors that can fly out, outer space. But as of right now, I mean, the crazy part, like pursuing that passion all these years, man, and just turn after turn, they give you like, nah, you can't do this, nah, this is irrelevant, nah, this is that, and he still pursued his dream, and that was one of the things that I kind of liked about the situation where me and him would always talk about this stuff, and even with me pursuing my dreams on things. Angela, what's going on? Nice to see you. How about them babies that you still dealing with them babies over there you naming your vegetables and your fruits? I don't name mine because I might have to eat them one day, so I don't want to name them. But yeah, I drop in on your channel still from now and then. I be busy, but I still be watching. But yeah, a lot of times, man, we get to that point where it's like it's no ending, no help, and a lot of times you got to learn how to do it on your own. Me and my wife we was still having a conversation about life and my boys because I always we have these talks because I tell people I be over there talking to a lot of those guys in the ministry space and a lot of the women, and I was telling her you know a lot of the times I listen to a lot of those guys, they have certain points to where it's understanding, and my daughter, I told her with anything, my daughter would always have help, despite any little thing she got going on or any situation between any family member, she'll always have a helping hand, but it's to a degree with most of the time for the boys. And I always tell her, I kind of look at my sons and I'm looking at them being so hard to get married nowadays because the light on the women has been put to forth to where, you know, it's having a good time and having fun. But you keep having fun till it's too late to where it's no more fun for them. And I tell my wife that about my boys. My Oldest son, he's 24. He was around the age where before I got married to where I really started trying to find a wife, and I ended up finding one and got married by I was 25. I actually found my wife around close to 23, right before my birthday, and within a year we got married. I told my wife, I said, man, if my son dreams of having a wife, it's gonna be a fight, you know. Even with the pursuit of his career, him doing what he's doing, even to a degree with my younger boys that are twins, you know, I constantly stay on them about their dreams and things that they want to pursue. One of my sons, he wants to own a Tesla dealership, and the funny thing is, his older brother works at Tesla. So he picks him up in the Teslas all the time, and talks with him, and can't stop what's going on. I missed you this morning, man. I'm gonna have to double back. I got up a little late, man. That alarm kept going off, and I kept cutting it off. So, but yeah, man, it's crazy. Like a lot of us try to, I always think about that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, and looking at our dreams. Like, what is our pursuit of happiness for our dreams? Like, do we plan on trying to fulfill our dreams despite all the odds? Because understanding, the way the world is now, back in the day, you can kind of get into something and make it your own and, you know, run a course. But as of right now, I mean, oof, it's kind of hard, and I kind of harp on that for my boys to get them some type of understanding to say, you got to keep going, you know, um, even with their, dreams of being the best that they can be, it only gonna take them so far. I deal with my wife about this a lot with us, our communication and learning to deal with more things for our boys and, you know, putting the best foot forward so they can, be better in life. I try to work with my boys in school. Now I got them a tutor. I try to teach them a lot of things I do in business, show them little handyman tricks because it was crazy the other day. I have a short, I didn't even drop it yet, but there was literally like three guys changing a tire, and they would look like they're between their 30s to maybe 50. And I was like, ain't no way three guys changing tires. Ain't no way three guys changing tires. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Sometimes you catch it later. Like I was saying earlier, my friend always wanted to be an astronaut. This guy did everything he could to get to the level of becoming an astronaut. What's going on, Red? Sexy Red. And he got all the way to the point of being an astronaut. The dude went into the military. He did all the programs. He did all the classes. Everything to become an astronaut. No swear was going on. Everything he did. Oh, let me get back to that changing tire. But he did everything he did to become an astronaut. I mean, he met he met the president before. He was, well, I just said he was in an exchanging program with Steve Harvey, where he mentored young boys. And like, if you go and look him up, he was in Steve Harvey program for I want to say 6 or 7 years, and he inspired so many young kids. Like I said, with his story, the guy should have been pretty much to the point of in jail, not even make it out. If you go and look up his story, I mean, from his, you know, um, situation with his mom being, locked up, and then it was just so much. Then having to come to Georgia and stay with his family in Georgia. Technically, he was a statistic. Like I never knew that his aunt and uncle that was raising him was not his mom and pops. He always just called them his mom and dad, but that was his aunt and uncle. And his two little cousins, I thought that was his brother and sister. Like it was just so much that went on with that. But he, to this day, still good cheer. Still pursuing to be an astronaut. He did all the requirements, flight, everything. But yeah, that guy with the tires, it was just crazy. Yeah. Conscious Mark, hey man, shout out to you, man. I've been over there watching your shorts, been looking at your community posts, and it's crazy. I don't get a lot of the shorts and stuff, but I'm starting to see more of the people I'm sub to, their shorts pulling up on my feed now. Because I watch random shorts and I see a lot of people's shorts pulling up on my feed from YouTube that I'm sub to. But yeah, get back to them guys that was changing the tire, and I gotta jump off of here. It was crazy. I mean, literally, you had four, like literally three guys, not four, but three guys trying to change a tire. And I'm like, man, it was just Dr. Mark in the building. Hey man, it's a lot of people showing me love this morning. Appreciate you. I wasn't trying to be here too long, but it was literally three guys changing the tire. And blurred what's going on. It was literally like three guys changing the tire. And I'm like, how is this three guys changing the tire? It was like, I think the youngest I think was probably around 30 to about 50 years old. And they're all going in their trunks, getting different stuff to change the tire. And, one of them just sitting there with the four-way scratching his head. And I'm like, man, what is going on here? No, and the crazy part, it wasn't even a woman. It was just three guys trying to change a tire. And I was just like, I was driving by and I was like, I wasn't trying to pull over and be the fourth guy because I wanted to ask him. I would say, y'all okay? Because there's four guys out here, like, I mean, not four, but three guys out here changing the tire. I'm like, I understand if you didn't have the part. I literally understand if you don't have a four-way or you didn't have a tire and you call one person, but then you call two people. Okay, wellness for frugal mama, what's going on? I miss you this morning, Ron. I miss you this morning. I'm gonna come back, check you out. But like I said, yeah, don't start red. Don't start red. Don't start. It was not a woman. It was three guys changing the tire. I mean, I literally looked through the windows to make sure there was no woman sitting in the passenger seat. All the cars had no. It was a car, a SUV, and a pickup truck. So I made sure there was no woman because, like I said, I wanted to pull over and kind of like ask the Three Stooges what was going on. But my thing, I was laughing at it, and I just kept driving. I was like, it had to be something complicated. I just couldn't understand. It was just crazy to me. Like three guys changing the tire. Even if it was two guys, I'd be like, okay, well, he went and got the tire for him, or he just didn't have a four-way. Because there's been situations where I didn't have a four-way, or my friend didn't have a four-way, and he'll call me. It was one situation where I went to Winston Salem, had a blowout. Um, I was struggling with the one that came with the car, and I've been meaning, yeah, the Three Stooges, man. Yeah, I've been meaning to get a hydraulic jack, and that made me get one the next day. So I'm down there, cars off in the grass, and I'm trying to get off the highway because it was dark. Then I was trying to find something to put the jack up under, and so I end up finding like the piece up under the tire, the little cardboard with the it was a little cardboard up under there. So, well, a little flat little piece. I put that under there. Kev, man, what's going on, Kev? Man, I ain't seen you in a minute. Checking in, Kev. But the crazy part, I changed that tire. The police came, and my car was sitting so low that I had got my jack and plus the police jack, and so I lifted the car up, pulled the tire off, end up swapping it out, and I'm good. The next day, Got me a hydraulic jack. Always had a hydraulic jack in my wife's car. Always had the four-way lug in there. Had a compressor in the little small compressor where I can air up the tires and stuff. I mean, I always had her car like that. Mine, if something go on my truck, hey, I'm figuring it out. I had another truck. You know, I would always jump in the best truck. Hey, ride out. But I mean, it got to that point where like I didn't understand it. Like I really wanted to go over there and ask them dudes like, why all y'all over here changing the tire? But it kind of dawned on me like what I did with my son. He was about 14. I want to say no, he was 15 years old. And granted, it was a little bit too late for me because I always, you know, just changed the tire. Never really thought about, bringing my son out there changing the tire. So one day, me and my daughter got into it, and then she comes, with a little attitude, and she was like, "Oh, my tire, I don't know what's wrong with it." She drove it all the way home flat. She was up the street at the up the street at her job, which wasn't that far. But I think she either caught a flat there or caught a flat coming home. But that was the first time I got my son to change the tire on the car. What's going on, Queena? And I was talking to my wife. I was like, dang, I showed him a little bit too late. I should have been showed him how to change a tire, because he seen me do it. And that was the thing about my son. I kind of asked him when he got older. I was like, dang, man, I've been talking to a lot of these guys in this space. And I was like, man, I don't think I've, really set you down and talked to you about different things. Like, I already know the whole birds and the bee conversation is far past this generation because things that they learn at this young age from TV and the internet, like they can teach me. Like the whole thing about the eating grocery stuff, I hear it in a song, but they know about it because of, like I say, with their situation, with them being young in the internet, it ain't even the point that they know about it. Hell, half of these kids are doing it at this age. And so, you gotta tell them like, hey, this ain't normal. I hear so many people talking like that. I'm like, this not normal. You don't, the booty warriors and all this like crazy, whatever, get too far into that. But the thing of it was I started teaching him and I talked to him and like I said, go change your sister tire. He goes out there, he said, I don't know what to do. I said, what do you always do when you need help with something? He was like, what's that? I say, YouTube it. Go look it up. Cause that's like back in the day, I always use YouTube for either fixing on something or literally, trying to figure out something. I never really use YouTube too much like for what I'm doing now, talking to people, socializing, trying uh the most I did far as with information was looked at documentaries. Other than that, hey, never really did it like that. It was always looking up something to fix, and I told my son to fix that tire. Went back out there, checked it, made sure it was right. That was me and it was me and his sister was beefing, so I made him do it, and she kind of got scared that it wasn't gonna drive right. I said, "But why are you talking to me and you don't like me?" And so, she humbled herself real quick because, you can't sit here and talk junk, and then want to come back and be like, I need your help. So I humbled her real quick and showed her like, hey, calm all that down. You're not grown yet, because most of the time when kids get their cars, they get a job, they feel like they grown. Mm, mm. Yeah, but going on, Blair. Blair Monster. Dr. Dunbar, what's going on? Yeah, I'm about to get ready to jump off of here, but like I said, the, the crazy part was like with those three guys changing the tire, it put me to start, talking more to my younger boys, getting them to understand stuff. I have them out there like today. I'm finna go uh build my little greenhouse on the side of my house, and I'm gonna have my boys out there working with me.
Got them with tools. I do a little construction sometime, and I have them in the demo part come and help cleaning up stuff, like throwing stuff in the trash. And we laid concrete one day. I had them out there picking up rocks and cleaning stuff around. She is sunshine. What's going on? What's going on? You want me to hit the horn for you? Nah, you ain't miss it. That be over there on Miss T channel. I don't drop the horn over here, even though I should start doing that. That might be a good thing. Give me a little air horn or something. At moment's notice, I can let the horn rip. But yeah, it was just crazy. How that situation came about. Like mahogany was going on. It just so many situations to where a lot of times people don't know stuff. And a lot of times you have to get taught on the fly. And hopefully it's just that those guys that were out there changing the tire, they were missing the key. So they kept calling each other to try to find the key for the tire. Hopefully that's it. Because other than that, I'm like, it shouldn't have been no three guys out here changing no tire. Like hopefully. You know. Yeah, I got that from the artwork from AI art generator. It's an app. And just let you know it's a paid app. I paid for the year, I think it was like 15 bucks. And I think every time you do artwork, depending on how many, different styles you get, it's about $3 for about I think 20 to 50 art, something like that. So I got a lot of them I did. The other one I did for the thumbnail. So I'm just randomly going through them. I did mine and my wife's. So I got a lot of them. I just got saved on my phone to where I've been, putting them on different platforms, putting them on social media and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, back to the story, it just a lot of times we have a lot of dreams and we want to do things in life, but it just never works out like that. It gets to the point where if I want to be a doctor, if I don't have these things in my life to become a doctor, it's going to get kind of hard for me being and pursuing that career. Same thing like I was saying about with my friend being an astronaut. This dude did everything right, went through the proper channels, got all the way up to the point of becoming an astronaut, and the program got shut down, short term. So we have to keep pursuing our dreams, and for the ones that didn't make their dreams, find new dreams, find new passions, things that you're good at. Each one teach one. If I don't make it to my goal, I want to help somebody else make it to their goal. And that's the thing. We kind of get to a point of being selfish, but we need to be to a point of being selfless because a lot of times I help people like I know it's crazy. Like the other day I had me a little I think a couple little bottles of liquor. Seen a homeless guy, I asked him, I said, do you drink? He said, yeah. Gave him the liquor, gave him some money with it. But the point of it is, I didn't want to drink it. I didn't feel like drinking. I had, stuff at home, but I was just like, man, let me just give this guy this stuff. A lot of times, I mean, I've given a lot of homeless people food, plates, and stuff like that. I mean, just to let them, hey, I already know it's hard. You know, situations pan out for most people where you get in that, point, it's a tough situation. My mom used to work at a shelter, so I seen a lot of that firsthand where a lot of people just smart and intelligent just needed a break. They lost it all from drugs. You know, a lot of times that we start pushing on these, people in bad situations, it's not always to where these people are getting to these points from just, just being bad with money or being drugs. Sometimes the people around them put them in bad situations. So, sometimes we just gotta respect that. Do as you are, do as you want to. You don't have to necessarily help those. I mean, sometimes I have to have a bird's eye view when I give people money because I'm not trying to give money for the wrong situation. And if I do give, I'm giving it out of the kindness of my heart. So I'm not expecting anything in return, but I still want you to, you know, be good with the money that I'm giving you. I don't want to give you this $10 and this might be your last day on earth because I gave you $10 to get your last high, but we never really know. But shout out to everybody, you know, um, to what's going on, and for everybody, kind of get it to a situation to where, you respect yourself and respect your life, your dreams that you have, keep pursuing them. If you want to become a doctor and there's no earthly way you're gonna become a doctor, go at nurse, you know, go at community service, something that helps somebody and let it be. Other than that, we all gotta find that pursuit of happiness. Fatherly, what's going on? Uncle Stu in the building. Shout out to Uncle Stu. I gotta start going back through my list of subs and start looking at the bell notification because I swear I hardly get no notification from people. This make me always have to go back and out of here. And to the end, you know what I always say: we here, we gone, but yet I'm gonna keep saying this. Here for the grind hasn't changed. I'm still going for my health goals. I'm eating right. I'm gonna start posting more of my scrumptious food that I make and all things. My garden is starting. My cucumbers are growing back in, so I might have to do a little live pollination video for a lot of people that in the garden community know what I'm talking about. It's gonna be a hit to everybody else when they hear or see the video. I'm gonna be putting music in it and everything. But shout out to everybody that came through. You know, like always, we here and we gone. Peace.